Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So yeah, I know 2 videos in one day. I have been wanting to do this with you guys for so long, but I just haven't had the chance to do it, or I make excuses or whatever. So I said today, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to build this video out real quick for you guys. So first things first, you guys have to excuse the noise in the background. I'm going to try to project my voice so that you can hear over it. But I'm in my son's room and he's in here playing with his toys. So as you guys all understand, being a mom, there may be some interruptions where I may have to let him out or whatever the case may be. So just bear with me, you guys. Also, make sure you hit that like button, definitely shares and subscribe. And we're going to get right into this video. So today, as you guys have read in the title, I kind of wanted to, well, not kind of, I wanted to introduce you guys slowly to the science or the study of African spirituality. I am a very open Yoruba priestess, daughter of Yemaya, and I have been for about 9 years now, going on 10 years in July of this year, 2019. So I get asked a lot of questions when I'm out, when I'm working or whatever, when I'm wearing my elekes or my beads, which I'll explain each and every aspect that I have experienced myself. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a master. I don't have any PhDs, no master's degrees or anything like that. This is just all by what I have read, what I have been told, and also what I have experienced. So, just a little bit of a disclaimer. I just want you guys to fully understand. I am speaking from my own experience, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, most likely in all of these videos, is I'm going to light some incense. This is called Palo Santo. But this is just one of the few incense that I like. It helps to dispel negative energy and just kind of cleanse your space and just bring a very clairvoyant energy in. So I definitely like to have some type of incense burning in my household. I also have oil burners around my house as well. It's very good to keep your house smelling sweet. Everything that we have and everything that we utilize, which goes back to, like I said, the science of African spirituality is basically about utilizing the things that you have. We work with energy, we manipulate energy. So sometimes what a person can smell can change their energy and their mood, just like sometimes what a person can see, feel, hear, touch, or whatever. So I am working obviously with sensing, feeling, and smelling right now, even though my nose is clogged, but we're not gonna talk about that. So I just wanted to cleanse the energy in this room really quick, just to help and help me articulate well and transmit a clear message to you guys. Hopefully you guys can get something out of this. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that burn. So first things first, I actually purchased this book once already a while ago that I'm gonna that I'm gonna be using for all of these videos. I purchased this book before I became a priestess in this particular lifestyle. And you're going to hear me use words like that a lot, lifestyle and spirituality. I do not recognize this as a religion, although that word is used a lot in this book. I recognize this as a lifestyle, meaning it goes hand in hand, the same. You wake up in the morning, you wash your face. This is an everyday thing. This is not something that you do one day a week. This is something that you have to live out every day. So the name of the book that I purchased a while ago is called, I don't know if you guys can see that, Finding Soul on the Path to Orisha. Okay? Did it focus? Focus. Finding Soul on the Path to Orisha. This is my favorite book. The reason why, this was actually recommended to me by another priestess in the community about 11 years ago, but she told me that this book broke it down in a very simple way. There's a lot of negative commentary, thoughts, and feelings surrounding the type of tradition and lifestyle that I practice, and that's mainly why I wanted to utilize this platform, is to take some of that off. I am in no way, hear me clearly when I say this to you guys, I am in no way trying to make you guys change your mind, convert you. This is not a, oh, come follow me. This is not this type of video. This is just simply saying, hey, there are options out there. If you guys find yourself in a situation where I was many years ago, where I felt lost, I went to church. I grew up Baptist. I've been baptized. I went to church Tuesday through Sunday. For those of you African American families, you know what I'm talking about. When your grandparents have you in church from Tuesday through Sunday, you went to it all. You went to usher board meeting. You went to Bible study. You do it all. You in the youth part. You participating in the youth classes. You going to Sunday school. I did it all. I was in church literally Tuesday through Sunday. And I have nothing negative to say about the church or religion as a whole. It just did not help me get to the next part of my life. I just got to a point where spiritually I felt stuck, and I felt like I wasn't going to go anywhere. I had reached the highest that I can go with that particular platform. And it just so happened that I stumbled across that. So just a little bit of a backstory. I found out about this actually through my children. Funny how life works out. When I found out I was pregnant, focus. Maybe I should be using my other camera, but when I found out that I was pregnant with my first daughter, I was invited to the dad's house to have a conversation with his family. And the conversation ended up being about wanting to involve our daughter, wanting to introduce her to his culture and his lifestyle. Now, you guys have heard me say before, even then, even though I didn't know anything about this particular lifestyle, I have always been in the understanding that my children, whenever I did decide to have children, you know, they needed to be aware of all parts that were involved in creating them, meaning their history from both their mother's side and their father's side. So when they had this conversation to me, even though I was pretty ignorant and I didn't know what they were talking about, there was something in me that says, okay, this is okay. So I started researching myself just as a means, as a mom, to be informed on what my child, who I was going to give birth to, was going to be involved in. So anyways, that's that. I developed a love for it, for myself. I became more and more intrigued, and then it just stuck. Obviously, here I am 11 years later, and I am a priestess. So we'll get into that in another video. I'll talk to you guys about that and everything. So let's get into this book. I just wanted to read a couple, not too much, but I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of the history of this tradition. Like I said, just kind of break it down for you guys, because a lot of times when people hear common terms for this tradition, and for those of you who don't know, the most common terms for this tradition is Santeria. I absolutely hate that name because, like I said, it comes with so much baggage and negative baggage. There's automatically a negative assumption about the people who practice it and what it's about. So let me just read from the book. And like I said, you're going to hear the word religion, but I do not identify with this as a religion. I identify with this as a spiritual lifestyle, okay? So, Orisha is a branch of the indigenous Earth Center religion of the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria. It has existed for at least 4,000 years. Some anthropologists believe it has been practiced for as many as 8,000 years. The tradition spread from Africa primarily to Cuba and Brazil via the transatlantic slave route of the 19th century. Cuban immigrants to New York City brought the religion to the United States in the 1930s and 40s. Today, as many as 75 million people worldwide practice some version of the tradition. Yoruba Orisha, which is usually practiced in Nigeria and the United States. I believe it also goes by Candomblé in Nigeria. No. I think that's Brazil. Never mind. I misspoke. That's Brazil. Nigeria and the United States usually go by Yoruba or Orisha. Santeria, which is more influenced by the Hispanic background, usually from Cuban, synchronized with Catholicism, which I'm going to talk about that in another video. And Yoruba Lukumi, which is Afro-Cuban, non-syncretized. And then Candomblé, which I mentioned earlier, which is practiced in Brazil. Shango Baptiste, which is practiced in Trinidad, and the Ifa priesthood, which is also practiced in Nigeria and the Americas. So hopefully you guys was able to understand it. So basically this was practiced obviously by Africans in various parts of the world. However, when the part of our history where slavery came into play and Africans were taken from different parts of the world and brought over here, because of those situations, they were forced to kind of hide their practices behind the practices that were already, what's the word? It's right on the tip of my tongue. The practices that were already in play. I can't figure out the word, but the practices that were already in play in those parts. So from Africa to, let's just say, the United States of America, there was Christianity, there was baptism, there was everything having to do with Christ and Jesus and everything else. So what the Africans did was basically hide their practices behind the spiritual practices of their masters. So for example, it says here, let me go back to it. It says Santeria, Cuban, syncretized with Catholicism. So that's why Santeria, obviously it sounds like it has a Hispanic influence. So they call it Orisha worship somewhere. They call it worshiping deities. It has so many different names, but basically what happened is, for that particular example, I'm going to use, what they would do is they hid the Orisha names behind the saints that were already recognized in the Catholic Church. So a lot of the saints that are in the Catholic Church can be lined up with the Orishas from this African lifestyle, if that makes any sense. Okay. A really close friend of mine at one point told me, when I was just learning, the example she gave me was, for example, when you take Christianity and everybody knows the story of Jesus and his apostles or his disciples, look at it as that. There's God or Jesus, whichever, or both. And then there were his disciples. The disciples were not more important than God or Jesus. They were helpers. They were there to help Jesus along the way, as well as spread the word. Okay, so the Orishas, in a sense, are kind of the same thing. They are here. They represent different energies and aspects of life that we all come across, no matter what age group, gender, sex. And they are here to help us get across those obstacles and make it to the other side. Okay, it's all about, I'm going to say that Orisha worship or being a Yoruba priestess, in my opinion, is about learning how to recognize God within you. It's not about trying to recognize that God dwells in a specific place or within another specific person, but recognizing that God dwells in all living things, and we have the ability to manifest with our mouths, our minds, and our beings the things that we want in our lives. It's about working with the energies that we have and just ultimately evolving to be a better you tomorrow than you were today. So I don't want to get into it too much. And what's up? Who are you talking to? You want to go? Want to go bye-bye? Yeah? You want to go with your sisters? Yeah? No? You don't want to go? Sorry about that. So anyways, yeah, I don't want to get into too much detail in this particular video. I'm going to try to make these videos as short as I can, but at the same time, there's going to be so much information coming at you guys. I don't want to overload you at the same time. So hopefully that was a good introduction, so that you guys know where I'm going in the next video. We're going to, of course, every video where I have a sit down and talk to you guys about this is going to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And eventually we'll open it up to have live streams where I can even show you guys certain aspects of what I do here on a regular basis in my own home. So, as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. You have to excuse my son. He's literally standing at the door, screaming for his sisters to come open the door for him. Hold on. Actually, let him out so that I can close out my video in peace. All right, you guys, sorry about that. I'm so sorry. But you guys know, you feel me? You got kids. I got 6 kids. What I'm going to do? I can't keep them quiet all day long. Not even for 13 minutes. I was shocked that he gave me that long, but it's okay. The point is, did you get the message? Did you hear what I was trying to convey to you? Did you get this good history? Are you sharing in this moment with me? That's all that matters. So I'm going to close out my video. On that note, I highly recommend you guys get this book. For those of you who are interested in just researching other options. Again, I'm not trying to convert you guys. I'm not a pastor. I am a priestess. I am willing to help those in my community, help those, via this platform to gain an understanding and clarity, but I'm not here to convert you and make you guys come over to my side. I believe that everybody has to follow their own destiny and everybody has to follow their own path. That may be the same sentence, but whatever, I'm saying it twice. So I believe that everybody is in charge of their own destiny. We all must do what's in our hearts and ultimately what's in the best interest of ourselves, our family, and our space. So I hope that I was able to give you guys something in that. Stay tuned. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm gonna go over how to set up little small altars or shrines in your household, how to honor the ancestors, what the Ilekes mean, even some ceremonies. I'm not going to go into details because a part of this tradition is preserving it, and preserving it means that you have to learn by basically going through the process. So there are certain aspects of the tradition that I will not be able to reveal to you guys in order to preserve the sacredness of my lifestyle. However, I will give you guys as much information as I am allowed. But like I said, please, you guys, definitely take a look at this book. It's on Amazon. I believe it was only $10.95 or $11.95, but it's not expensive. It's not a thick book. It's like 150 pages or whatever. It is by, I'm probably going to say her name all wrong, so forgive me, Toby Melora Coriel. Is the author of this book. But yeah, Finding Soul on the Path to Orisha, very first book that I purchased. I highly recommend for those of you guys who are interested in learning more about Orisha worship, Yoruba spirituality, the science of African spirituality, or whatever. If you're just coming here because you need healing yourself or because you need to find another way for yourself, that's cool too. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, stay cool. Peace.